Oi, oi, what's up, peeps? Welcome back to another episode of Monday Moves. Now, before we begin today's episode, I'd like to say thank you to my friend and photographer, Mr. Hans for lending us the studio here in Hanz Photography for today's session. I hope everybody had a wonderful Valentine's and a great weekend. Welcome back to the grind and welcome back to the hustle on Monday. So, if you've been following our episodes, the last couple of episodes, we've been talking about sharing with you a formula that will double your profits. Now, that formula, when it was first shared with me, was mind-blowing. Now, when we're always looking at getting higher profits, we always think about increasing our revenue. But with this simple formula, it will show you how you can double your profits very quickly. So I want you to remember this number, 8, 1, and 7. Now, what are these numbers? That's 8%, 1%, and 7%. When we're talking about 817, 8% of what? Revenue. And we want to increase revenue by only 8%. And 1% refers to our cost of goods sold. We want to bring that down by only 1%. And when we talk about 7%, we want to bring down 7% of our fixed costs. Now that's simple, because every time we talk about trying to earn more profits, we're talking about double digit. We always go up to revenue and we always tell our sales team, oh, this year we need to do 20% or 30% increase in our sales. And that's usually a very huge number. So now trying to hit that 20-30% makes the target either very hard to achieve or it's just way out of reach. So now when you talk about 8% only, right, it's just a single digit 8% growth, it's achievable. That increases staff morale, encourages people to chase the numbers as well. So let me show you an example of this at these numbers with these numbers 817. Assume that you're doing a revenue of 1 million. And we want to increase that by 8%. I'll show you those numbers later. And cost of goods sold in today's climate, okay, we're running around 20% margin, so our cost is around 800,000. Our fixed costs, warehouse, office, staffing, etc., is about 100,000. Simple example. So that gives us a net profit of around 100,000. So now, if you implement this very simple doubling your profits formula of 817, we're looking at increasing revenue of 8%. Okay? So 8% is about 80,000. Alright? Easy number to hit. If you went out and told any sales team today, I need you to grow sales this year, our target's up only by 80,000 from a $1 million revenue company, easy job, right? Now, we're bringing cost of goods down by 1%. So we're looking at 1%, $8,000. We're looking at about 792,000. Right? Small number. So when you go out and negotiate with your vendors, suppliers, raw material suppliers, etc., service providers, normally we go out there and we try to bring costs down. We go and tell them, oh, I need a discount. You need to cut me 10%. My boss wants 15% off. That's a huge number. Right? As a former service provider, we feel that, wow, 10%, that's a big number to take off my margin. We're already running very slim margins. But imagine this, if your procurement or everybody went out and negotiated down 1% from every supplier, they'd be happy to give you at least 2%, right? Now we need to bring fixed costs down. That's 7%. 7% is about 7,000, so you're looking at about 93,000 for fixed costs. Now, if my maths is correct, if you do the additions and the subtractions, it should give you 195,000 net profit. That's almost double your previous profits. Now, 7% this is the toughest part of this formula, and 7% to bring down your fixed costs. You could look at something like going to your landlord or negotiating a longer term rent and bringing rental down by 7%. Now, if you look at this, right, it should be a team effort when it comes to doubling your profits. And normally we always put the pressure on our sales team, but if we can get the whole team involved, every department, and we only need to do single-digit percentage changes in terms of our numbers, it gives us already a huge gain in terms of profits. So now we can hold your hand and take you through this formula, but there's not enough time today. So that's all we have for this episode of Monday Moves. Before I go, remember this number, 8, 1, and 7, and check in here again next Monday for another episode of Monday Moves.